So I'm Saurabh Gupta. I'm the founder and CEO of Earth 5R. And Earth 5R is 10-year-old environmental organization. The story is a bit different. I was earlier working with Cafe Coffee as head of HR, and I quit my job. I went on cycling in many countries. I finished 50,000 kilometers cycling. And then I realized I want to do something beyond myself. So I started a very small community program in my locality along with architect Bharati Marathe, who's also one of the co-founders. And we started doing local programs, started with the local lake, which is Powai Lake. We built a model around sustainable livelihood and scientific segregation of waste, and we worked on local buildings. So our idea was very architecture driven, very system thinking driven, very scientific. And then eventually the movement became very big. It spread all across India, worldwide, 65 countries, and we have been awarded by the French president and honored by United Nations. And while we were doing projects, we also got to work with the United Nations, where we started India's first river cleaning project supported by United Nations. There was funding of 0.6 million euros that three parties received, including Earth Fiber, and we delivered the project, and the project has been successful. And now we are working on building this using that model. We have partnered with Dr. Julie Newman, who is the Director of Sustainability at MIT US, and myself and architect Bharati Marathe. We formed this group, and the idea is that we believe that there are a lot of innovations happening around the world. And let's talk about India first. India itself has so many innovators, so many ideas, so many innovations happening at a regional level. But the problem is that it's not coming together, and a lot of people are trying to reinvent the wheel. So the idea was that why don't we form a network where we do weekly meetups and we share ideas, and there's so many experts that we need to know about. And what happens that in these annual or conferences that happen, very less frequent, these ideas don't come out and we don't get to know about people. So we felt that there's a scope for weekly conferences. So we decided we build a group and we'll do weekly meetings, but also at the same time, we find experts who are doing some interesting work. So we design individual podcasts also with them, which is like 1 hour podcast where we'll be getting in touch with you and design individual sessions. So we do a lot of such kind of programs, and obviously people end up getting projects from us and we end up working together. So that's the whole idea, is to build an ecosystem. So this is India chapter. I'll do a quick presentation where I'll take all of you through this entire roadmap, what is 5 years plan and where are we heading, and things that we can do together. So I'll just quickly share my presentation. My screen is visible.
Yes, Saurabh.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so this is Blue City Sustainability Meetup. So why we call it Blue Cities? It is because we have heard green cities a lot. The word has become a cliche. We felt that water is a lifeline. Rivers and lakes are getting polluted. They're turning into gray or black. So we felt that they need to go back to the blue colors. So we call it Blue Cities. Also, one of when I remember early days of when we started Earth Fiber. One day my son was sitting and he was saying that why do we call Earth a blue planet? And I was like, because there is water. So he was like, exactly, why are you working for green? You should think about the blue part also, because we need to protect the blue also. So that name somewhere is stems from that experience, but also the cities need to protect its water bodies, and we need to restore our rivers and lakes. So that was one idea, that we can call it Blue Cities. River and all of you know about these things. This is like nothing new. I think it's a very, very well-educated crowd and highly informed audience. But rivers are the lifeline and of civilization, but only 0.3% are usable freshwater. Rest everything is locked. It's either ocean or it's locked in glaciers and under the ocean, under the earth. So basically, only 0.3% is usable. And coming to the cost that we are paying, so the water pollution is a massive economic human cost. 3% of India's GDP is what is it's costing, and 37.7 million people suffer from waterborne disease each year. So there's a cost to the human and there's a cost to GDP. There are so many efforts that are being taken, but the problem is that they're all fragmented. What we need is collaboration. We need to exchange knowledge, and most important is that we need to take action that is scalable, replicable, and sustainable. BlueCities network is a systemic platform for urban river sustainability. It's invite-only national global group. Why we keep invite-only? It's because we want to keep it extremely focused. We want to know people that are becoming part of this network. We want to interact with them. We want to give them opportunity. That is why we try to keep this network a bit reference-driven. It's created by Earthfire with the help of experts from MIT, UN, and industries. We focus on real implementation, real projects. So basically, you're going to see a lot of real projects that we'll be collaborating on. We connect experts from different backgrounds like architecture, civil engineering, professors and researchers and climate experts, and intergovernmental organizations as well. About Earth 5R is an environmental organization that leverages AI and data, and we have a Google awarded app, and we have B2B business model. There are 65,000 by now. Users are using our app, and our mission is to mobilize 2 billion people by 2030, and total 1.3 million people, citizens are involved and impacted by our programs in 65 countries. I've been awarded by Mr. Macron, the French president, for as Young Leader India France for my work in the climate sector. So here is the network. I'll straightway take you to the idea that what are the different types of roles we have. I'll be sharing this sheet later on with all of you, so you don't have to really go through everything right now. But I'll give you a broad idea. So broadly speaking, we are building a team of visionaries and architects who have long-term vision, who can think big and bold, very importantly. And we're looking for academic leaders who can co-author white papers and supervise research, research labs, mentor students, run research programs, because it's very, very important to have academic leaders. We have very strong emphasis on academics. We will have environmental architects and urban designers so that they can bring system thinking, they can bring design principles, and they can build all different kind of public space transitions, and they can work with city administrators. Then environmental engineers, environmental consultants, so they can do the auditing parts and bring their technical knowledge about different kind of project feasibility and do ESG studies. Then we need policymakers and government licensing people, financial strategies, because very, very important, because there's a cost to environmental problems. There's a huge cost that communities are paying. So if we need to really take care of that, we need to mobilize capital, we need to mobilize funds, impact funds, and there are a lot of funds available. So that we require financial strategists who will be part of this group, climate scientists and ecologists, people from, currently I'm talking to MIT, where Dr. Julian was talking about getting IPCC contributors, scientists who have written IPCC reports, because there's a lot of information that can help us. Then tech innovation leaders, people who have experience with artificial intelligence, IoTs, and such kind of technical solutions. Storytellers who can write stories and can build a narrative around telling things in a more interesting manner, and media production, civic engagement. Then corporate ESG and CSR executives, because obviously they're sitting on a lot of funds, and they have a lot of people work in those companies. They a lot of volunteering programs can be organized through these people. Then philanthropic partners who can mobilize funds. City executives or mayors of the cities. We are currently talking to some of the mayors of the cities, like including Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, Delhi. So we would like to mobilize them eventually so they can deploy pilot projects, or we can participate in the existing projects. Then legal experts, because who can draft policies, and they can design legal frameworks for protection of the environment in the cities. Then youth and education catalyst. There are so many youth organizations, like we can work with NSS and many such kind of organizations which can mobilize students in a very large scale and can help us educate students and build awareness. Behavioral change experts like psychologists. Then there is a whole part of our global south, which is not just India, but Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia. So working with them because they're affected by climate change, and there are a lot of rivers which are affected by pollution. Then creative strategists, visual thinkers, graphic designers, impact measurement experts, and media influence. We'll be working with some of the influencers also. Then operation team, we'll be building an operation team which we already have already. And we have one interesting thing is that we are also coming up with city fellows or local champions, in which students and youth leaders will be selected, and we will designate them to take care of the cities and run programs in their own cities. So this is the overall network. And in your network, if you can find anybody who's fit for these kind of roles, or if you can refer us, that'll be great. Our network gets better, and we all benefit from that, and mission benefits from that. I'll share 5 years roadmap. What is the plan? So starting right from now to 2030, so 2025 is launch. So today is, you can say that all launch has already happened, but today is the first India leg meeting. So thanks to all of you to join for joining and being so patient and bringing all the information and making slides and presenting this idea forth. Uh, we will be having weekly online meetups, and we are planning to target 10 river cities in India in this year. And then we'll also be doing knowledge sharing. And as you can see in the report, we are planning to write one white paper, expert roundtable also, and we start collaborating with universities this year. We also have capital partnership, like building capital. Some of that is already being secured right now. We'll also be initiating grant application. Rest everything is in the sheet. I'll share later on. But the idea is that what I wanted to tell you, that this is a very structured program. It is moving very steadily. We're talking to a lot of global experts, including all of you. And I look forward to having a great association. Why are we doing these weekly meetups? It is to learn from real projects, sharing framework, case studies, collaboration opportunities, so that we want to avoid repetition. We'll scale what is already working with all of you. Probably you have some models that is working for you. So how can we scale those models? Then creating those documents. Long-term vision is, first we're launching India chapter. US chapter is already in building. We'll be involving mayors, professors, students, and all different committee members. We'll have anchor project, which is river cleanup, city waste intervention, and circular economy programs. And we'll publish research and policy documents. What we need from you, what is your role? One thing is, like, obviously attend meetups regularly, as regular as possible. Please share your work, pilot ideas, collaborate, bring other people, introduce other experts, and help us build the most action-driven sustainability network in the world. I can guarantee you that action is our forte. That is our biggest forte. Operation is the biggest forte. So you will enjoy being part of this network. Next step is, as I already mentioned, every Friday we have 9 to 10:30. We'll have recording of this session. We'll put it on YouTube. We'll make documentary out of it. And this entire thing will go on our journal, which has readership of around 6.3 million people worldwide. WhatsApp group will only be used for announcements, and there's a form that you can use. I'll now my presentation's over. I would give it ahead to architect Bharati Marathe, who's one of the co-founders.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you for that presentation. Am I audible, clear?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, so I will present my screen and let me know if it is visible. Is the screen visible?
Yeah.
Is the screen visible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. I am architect Bharati Marathe, environmental architect, co-founder and president at Earth 5R. I welcome each one of you in our first meeting of Blue Cities Sustainability Meetup. It is my pleasure to take you all through my professional journey of past 12 years today. The journey that speaks about sustainability merging with lifestyle, with actions, teaching, research, and ultimately ensuring sustainable built environments in future. I have always believed in sustainability begins at grassroots level. Simple ideas like you can follow my cursor along the presentation. It will help you in understanding the pictures. I have always believed sustainability begin at grassroots level. Simple ideas like turning waste into art or teaching small children about the concepts of nature. One such example is been shown here, taking the life cycle of a butterfly from caterpillar to a butterfly in actual way. This helped me to build the early ecological awareness in the small children, also to spread it ahead wherever it was possible. So these workshops which I took soon became the gateway for community participation. Our birthday parties looked something like this, where small children did a cleanup drive of their own apartment, a small patch in their apartment, then a plantation over that cleaned area by them, and then overlooking the growth of their planted plant every single day by passing through it. Our birthday parties return gifts became turned from plastic gifts to this beautiful saplings. As a responsible citizen, I have always practiced what I have preached. So starting from segregating the wet waste or the food waste for composting at home, from dry waste, and using it for recycling and upcycling further. I have done that all by myself. This picture shows here the transformation of my own balcony, which started from a small rough patch here and then turning it into an actual green space, an urban green cover. So, this particular picture looks like an extension of the green cover, which is beyond existing. So these actions were then replicated in the area of Powai, and later it became like a movement under the Earth 5R project. My formal knowledge into environmental architecture has enabled us uh, to establish the research cell at Earth 5R, ensuring that every project is well documented and with 100% authenticity. Delivering Earth talks at various colleges and schools across lot many cities in India has helped us to educate and to make the generation next aware about the complex concepts of climate change and the problems related to climate change and resource management. Projects like decentralized waste systems integrated our knowledge into designing such units of such composting units. It also helped us to train the citizens as well as the housekeeping staff of various residential buildings across Powai, and we were successful in installing such composting units at the places, at lot of places in Raheja Vihar neighborhood and Hiranandani neighborhood of Powai. The visit of French minister at our composting sites scaled our local initiatives or actions into international dialogues. Expanding the green cover through decentralized small urban places, plantation drives across all Powai. The circular economy project here, like in this particular project, using the Starbucks coffee waste into making of these coffee dolls by the slum women, and enabling them to earn their livelihood, where some of the initiatives taken under the ACT project of Powai, which was then selected by the French government out of the only 5 projects in India to be showcased at Paris Peace Forum in Paris in 2018. Alongside Earth 5R, I'm deeply involved in academia. mentoring architecture students, produce 100% climate responsive buildings, ensuring sustainability in the construction sector. My role basically here is to bridge the gap between the academic theory and the real world impact. One such project showcase here is the village tourism project, which was done with the tourism department of Maharashtra. The proposals, these are the proposals here. The proposals were the result of the students, the faculty working together and constantly interacting with the villages by staying with them, to come up with such sustainable strategies. As a thesis mentor for bachelor's as well as for graduation as well as for post graduation in architecture, is taken by me. I take this research workshop to in order to convert the complex research process, for the students into the simpler doable steps. So I guide them through the research process, the literature review, data collection tools. I make them aware how to convert that particular data, how to analyze it by putting a lot of methods and the tools for analysis, and coming up with the inferences for their very powerful thesis proposals, and ultimately those thesis proposals converting into the design proposals. So I'm here with Earth 5R, excited to collaborate and to connect with each one of you, with the multidisciplinary experts from across India, to change the real world problems into the new possibilities. Over to you, Saurabh.
Okay, so hi, I'm Nirati. So now we'll be starting with the insight sharing. So I would like to call Professor Narsama.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Also, before we start, I would like to share something. Just a minute.
Sure.
Yeah. Just a quick reminder before we start. So each speaker, because we are short on time today, so each speaker has around 7 minutes, and it is our suggestion that you share your insights for 5 minutes, and you can summarize the rest for 2 minutes. And we will also be having sessions. We will have weekly sessions, so we can always share your insights. If you're not in the list today, if you're lined up in the list, then you will be welcome in the next session as well. Also, we are always open for collaborations, as Saurabh has suggested, and we are always there for one-on-one talk. On We can have a meeting, one-on-one meetings, to share your insights, to collaborate and all. So over to you, doctor.
Yeah. So thank you. Today I'll be showing the glimpses of my work. I'm not going to speak in detail because of the time constraint, and also this is the first meeting. Okay. Let me share. Okay. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah.
Sir, I'll just give you the glimpses of my work. Okay, as I said. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about sustainable development of cosmopolitan environment, because I'm working both in Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam and at the same time Sri Kalahasti. Okay, we all know Tirupati and Sri Kalahasti. Tirupati is having one of the most floating population, although it has 30 lakhs its own residents, and it has on an average of 75,000 persons per day, and in peak days, I mean special days, around 2 lakhs. Now we can imagine one thing, like the pollution levels of these cosmopolitan cities is, I mean, environment is completely different from the normal cities or towns or area or any other urban areas, right? Okay, so if I speak exclusively about Tirupati, these are the majorly people are dependent upon these what these are the main sources of water, drinking water. I would say the first one is Kalyani Dam, okay, and then Manchineeti Cheruvu, okay, and then we have Kovanur Lake and Koramin Gutta, and then Pedda Cheruvu. You can see all these things here, and then we have many people in these areas are dependent upon especially in Tirupati area. Manchineeti Cheruvu is one of the major areas where people depend upon their sources of drinking water. But if you see the scenario now, it completely got up. Okay, I could not show you the image here, but I hope you can understand from these images. But Manchineeti Cheruvu is one of the major source of drinking water in Tirupati, but it completely got polluted with both solid waste and contaminated discharge of liquid waste. So that is one scenario. We are working on this surface water body now. We are trying to regenerate we are trying to give back the life of this particular Manchineeti Cheruvu. I mean, Cheruvu means in lake or some pond kind of thing. And then you can see here same scenario with Sri Kalahasti. Sri Kalahasti is known, one of the known temples. Here in Sri Kalahasti, majorly Swarnamukhi River is one of the fundamental or main source of drinking water for the people. And if you see the scenario of Sri Kalahasti, it is completely dumped with solid waste now. On the even the elder people, if you cross that place, they will say that we used to depend upon this particular Swarnamukhi lake for our drinking water, but we cannot even move this cross this place now without closing our nose. So that is the condition now. And this is another river we are working on. This is the self purification capacity of this Swarnamukhi river. My team is working this one from the last 6 months. And then there are so many examples here, and even I could not show you Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. We are working on a leach treatment and the solid sewage treatment plant there. Okay, but this is for surface water bodies. I just kept the images of surface water bodies. So what we strongly believe is we are all going to pay a heavy price when the water runs out. Why don't we pay a reasonable cost for its management to avoid that situation? Okay, so as I mentioned, I look into both the solid waste and the liquid waste, and the most important thing that I'm trying to work in converting the waste into wealth. One is like this kind of waste materials. For example, slag. Slag is my IIT Tirupati is completely surrounded by many steel industries. We procure waste slag from them, and we use this slag to convert the waste water into benign water. We have developed one of the pilot scale slag based bed, which is currently running at IIT Tirupati sewage treatment plant. Okay, so we are using this slag for the wastewater treatment. And then in some cases we are using banana peel, and then we are using eggshells. And from this this is one of the reactors we designed, baffled electrochemical system. We treat the contaminated water in these reactors and convert them into benign water. And the water and the sludge that comes from these two areas, okay, we use water for various other beneficial uses. And the sludge, it is rich in nutrients because we are mixing with the slag, and then banana peel, and then the eggshells. We are using it for growing plants. And this is another novel reactor we have designed, and recently we got a patent for this inclined electrode reactor. Okay, this is to remove the emerging contaminants. I hope we all are aware of emerging contaminants. It's not about you are just giving the treatment for the water. We have to confirm whether we have removed the emerging contaminants or not. So overall, if I have to show my work, so this is where integrated and sustainable approach. We work in waste valorization, nutrient-rich sludge, potable reuse of treated sewage, achievement of circular economy, reduction of landfill uses, and the list goes on. Okay, so as I said, I'm working with the Pollution Control Board in making the policies and guidelines for the solid waste management, particularly with the Tirupati municipality to improve the sanitation conditions in government schools. And so these are the integrative and sustainable approach. So we are involved in the design of reactors and converting the waste, and also on the other hand converting waste into wealth. So this is my team. Okay, so transformative and sustainable treatment approach to achieve integrated solid and liquid waste management in a very circular economy strategy. So my team is increased. I could not show all the members here. Okay, and we do, we analyze samples, both solid and liquid, from various places. We conduct workshops. We create, we also participate in awareness camps, and we conduct conferences and several other events. So this is my message, I guess. Thousands have lived without love, not one without water. Wherever I go, I show this slide. And then
Good
thank you very
one.
much. Yeah, thanks.
Dr. Narsama, when you do these awareness, what do you make them aware about? Is it about water or about solid waste, or what is the kind of?
Yeah, so both solid waste and water. So these we recently have done we have taken government school kids to these surface water bodies. I told you, right, Manchini to
Hmm.
Gupta. Currently we are working on that surface water body. So we have taken students to that place. And, okay, we have shown them how it is getting pollutants and what kind of water they are receiving, whether it is getting treated or not. We are trying to show everything to them, and then we'll click some pictures there, and we'll take some images from there, and we'll take the feedback of the nearby houses or people who often cross that place, and then we'll try to showcase those all the information to this workshop things or awareness camps. And I teach both wastewater and wastewater engineering and solid waste management at IIT Tirupati. We have every semester I make sure that my students are cleaning the campus, and I'll take them to several sewage treatment plants and surface water bodies. I'll take their opinions, and I'll make them understand what is going on in the background, and what are their responsibilities, what they have to do from at least their bit from their side.
Nice, very amazing, interesting work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mm.
Any other questions? I'm happy to
We can do more Q&A towards end as we have more time, once all the speakers are done. Yeah.
So if you are interested, next time I'll show you my reactors which are currently running in IIT Tirupati and then IIT
Yeah,
Madras, and the guidelines that we have framed for Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board, which is currently in discussion. Yeah, we will show you much information in the upcoming meetings. Yeah.
sure. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Dr. Narsama.
Thank you.
So now, yeah, Dr. CBS Dutt, are you ready with your presentation now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I will give the mic to
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. My
Yes,
first
you're
slide is seen.
No, sir.
No.
No, your slide is not visible, sir.
Just share 1 minute. Now,
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is visible.
yeah, before I get into the fundamental topic on lung spaces and the tree cover surveillance, now why do we need, the question is required, why do we need lung spaces, and what is the absolute necessity of tree cover while we are trying to address the very apt title given by Mr. Saurabh Gupta. And I'm also very happy one of my mentor, Ajay Rao, is here, who is an expert on ETPs and STPs. I know very well. Yeah, in fact, this is primarily required if anybody wants to have a urban comfort levels before going to settle down anywhere and want to find a place. We actually look for adequacy of water, adequacy of energy, adequacy of environment, safety, infrastructure, and security, and various other comfort and entertainment areas. Of course, in addition to infrastructure means all the schooling and all that. So while we are talking, and we also look for a sanctuary of environment. No, any urban area environment should be a sanctuary. But obviously, we are already in the era of gas furnace. And in fact, there are about 1 million cities around 46, I believe, and 10 million cities are about 11. My Hyderabad falls in the fifth rank, and we are all in the gas chambers. So in Mumbai, Calcutta, Bombay, Delhi, all of them virtually in gas chambers. Now, why is that all happening? And everybody goes in a recreation times. We always want to find a solace in some comfort, green areas, and have a sufficient good breathing space. That is what I mean here. The lung spaces, every one of you know it, but there is also a science behind it. So these are all what we mean is parks, urban forests, and gardens. But do we have, for example, one thing I can tell you, the Britishers have instituted a arboretum in Bangalore. I was there in Bangalore. There is a Lal Bagh. There are about 2,000 tree species. They are there. Such of those things doesn't exist in Hyderabad. We have a KBR park. Like that, there are everywhere. Parks are there, but if somebody wants to access those lung spaces, one has to go on a very complex, highly congested gas tunnels. We have to go. It means any road if you wanted to go. So that's unfortunate, those things. Now, out of these 6 millions, if I really wanted to summarize, what is the power consumption? Ultimately, if I wanted to have a blue city concept, we have to have a net zero concept. The net zero emissions, how does it come? For example, roughly, I'm going to give you some kind of a conceptual theoretical computation. Hyderabad consumes something like 90 million units per day. Now that amounts to something like taking the emission factor of 0.82. Ejara, you may correct me if I am wrong. So that works out to be something like 74,000 million units. Now, if 74,000 million units need to be converted, and what is the carbon levels is something like 22,000 million tons of carbon that is coming. Now, is it technically possible if I have a lung spaces and the tree cover on a sustainable basis? No, it's not possible, because we have to have certain kind of a sequestration of carbon or the GHGs is required through some multiple mix kind of a systems. That is what most of the cities are planning to work, and all our services are also going that way. But I don't think any of the city is anywhere near to that. Now, what does this role of lung spaces in urban cities does is in fact they all absorb the greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, carbon monoxide, and all oxides of everything. So it also reduces the urban heat island effect. I'm not going to discuss much about it. And also it alienates the albedo. There is a reflection between the incoming radiation versus the outgoing radiation. Now, these trees and green spaces also moderate temperature. That is why we always tend to go to the better environmental friendly green areas. It also facilitates evapotranspiration. That is where in the nighttime we always feel comfortable. Now, urban trees also captures carbon dioxide. That is where we want. And it also enables the carbon mitigation aspects in the carbon sequestration. That is where I'm trying to tell net zero, how is that in a sustainable environment? We have to really work on that. Now, in terms of public health, and needless to say, we always feel mentally comfortable, physically active, and urban heat resilience. They tree cover helps, they protect the vulnerable population during heat waves. In fact, these are all certain things, and it is one of the incubation chamber of the heat preventing mechanism. Now, social and economic values are innumerable, and in fact, anyway, this is some of the real estate values. Now, the tree covers are here is a lung spaces. That is where in the urban land use we have to have. There is no proper documentation, though NRSA all the 50 million cities we have done, but not in the context of the urban land use. Now, monitoring the environmental health is another important aspect on the canopy health assessment, because not all the time the trees which are being planted, they are planted and forgotten. But nobody knows. In fact, I know I myself is a one of the advisor to the State Forest Department. But none of them, there is urban forestry. They don't really work truly on that. Now, we also should make use of these urban tree cover and urban lung spaces area are the harbingers for the biodiversity. In fact, they plant all those seasonal and annual type of species. Simply they flower and they shed a lot of leaves, but they doesn't really account to the biodiversity in the urban area. This is one aspect that we have to really...
Doctor, sorry to just interrupt. We'll have to wrap up in 1 minute to summarize.
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
In the technology integration side, in looking into these aspects, needless to say, remote sensing and GIS will provide, and of late we have the drones also available, and the AI and machine learning for predictive analysis of some of the trees which are really causing any death or anything. Now, challenges are the rapid development of urban sprawl, poor policy management, lack of public awareness, climate stress, unexpected storm surge activities and all that it will come. So the recommendation for BlueCities is implement green space master plans, surveillance of technologies using the IoT and drones, and the rooftop vertical greening and all that. And also, what do we do with already the high-rise buildings and all? So of late, the new things are coming like hydroponics and aeroponics, unless and until, and a mixed type of energy saving, and work towards the net zero carbon. If you can plan for at least 50%, rest of the things in a mixed way you have to do. That's briefly, I just wanted to complex issues highlight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. This was very insightful. A lot of scientific information, especially the use of technology. That's very, very important. I think that we need to have a more detailed discussion with you. We will probably organize a full-length podcast with you where we would like to know more about this technology and these methods. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, sir. I would like to invite Professor Gautam Banerjee from IIT BHU.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good evening
Okay.
again.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. So I will share some slides I have prepared. So the first few slides that talk about down the time, what happened actually that with the river cleanup mission of the government of India. So let me share the slides, okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible fully?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So I have chosen a topic on holistic and integrated river cleanup approach in Indian context. Now, I have prepared first few slides, 3-4 slides, just to sort of, have a preamble right from the gap down the time, that is back to 1985 to 86, the GAP Ganga Action Plan that was launched actually with the mission this to to intercept the domestic and industrial wastewater, divert it, and treat it for ultimate disposal to River Ganga. That was a Ganga Action Plan. So that ambit of the plan was limited to a very few states, that is Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal, with full federal or central government funding. Later, GAP 1 was expanded to GAP 2 with greater ambit to include more rivers, namely Yamuna, Gomti, Damodar, these three, and with more area coverage. GAP 2 was executed with shared funding by central government and concerned state governments. Subsequently, state were to come to the Namami Gange program, which was launched in 2014-15 during that period, with a budget outlay of around, say, 20,000 crore. So this was very ambitious program, and that actually was an integrated conservation mission with a mandate to accomplish the twin objectives of effective abatement of pollution, conservation, and rejuvenation of the national river Ganga. The ultimate goal of the mission, as you see on the screen, reducing pollution, improvement of river water quality, reviving river ecology, with objectives, clear objectives of sewage treatment, riverfront development, river surface cleaning, and the more initiative and projects that were included and that were executed. So that is the plastic pollution control and urban river management with emphasis on tertiary level treatment. Focus areas and approaches were the sewage treatment, regular industrial effluent monitoring, riverfront development, religious bathing ghats, public awareness to educate people regarding importance of river cleaning and sustainability aspects, biodiversity, revitalization of the Ganga river and other rivers too. Intense effort to revive endemic and endangered riverine and riparian species such as dolphins, shark sail, these turtles and mussels population, etc. Now under Namami Gange, this one that is written, the mission 2, that is the later this the little modified one. So that is that was done by Ministry of Jal Shakti. So completed the 4 key projects in this 24-25. These projects located in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, and this is especially aimed at preventing sewage from entering the river, improving water quality, and rejuvenating the rivers. Now, my insight into that, these are all that the things of the past, and also still being carried out under Namami Gange program. First thing is the technical things. And being a technical person, as I know that the technical things are very important, and what we have to do actually, we have to, my insight or my experiences go like this. The assessment of nature of pollution and its load. So whenever a river cleanup program is going to be, conducted or so. So in that case, river stretch specific. That is the first thing is the river specific, and then river stretch specific questionnaire to come survey through that actually, involving the stakeholders, including the public residing around also and alongside the river. So this assessment of nature, pollution and its load, load in the sense that what this pollution load is there in terms of, different wastewater quality parameters like BOD, COD, etc. And holy river side cities like Haridwar, Varanasi, with pollution load resulted from various religious activities, etc. So this is also important to note that here where the religious activities are there, so it depends on the festivals or so, and after which actually the pollution loads shoots up. So that is to be also, and that has been considered, but that is to be looked into in more details also through regular monitoring also. Then industrial riverside cities like Kanpur, Kolkata, then Nasik, Hyderabad, etc., Chennai, etc., etc. Commercially important riverside cities like Lucknow, Patna, Shiliguri, etc., and very many cities, in fact, in India also. Very many cities, several cities will come under this. Medium riverside cities or towns, examples several, where actually,
Dr. Gautam, we're now running short on time. We'll have to finish in next 1 minute.
Okay. So what I summarize that first thing that the assessment, then baseline study, river baseline study, then construction of sustainable wastewater management system, the natural systems like sequencing batch reactor, different forms of activated slug process, constructed wetland, low-cost wastewater treatment. So these are the important, approach for the wastewater treatment. Construction of cluster or common effluent treatment plant, auditing. This is very important. In fact, auditing of sewerage system, STPs, pumping stations, CTPs, then sanitation auditing. These are all important. Regular monitoring of river water quality in terms of river water quality index. Periodic surveillance of riverine and riparian, this one. And economical, as you see, the circular economy, revolving loan-based economy, stakeholders-driven economy, appropriate tariffing-based economy, PPP-based economy, cooperative-based economy. So these are the parameters which could be considered components under economical. And social collaboration with government departments, with NGOs, volunteering services from the schools, maybe that in the school level, actually environmental science also, that should be included in the curriculum. So advocacy should be there. Charitable organizations also, and conduct a brief and rapid EIA, environmental impact assessment study, if needed, in association with the stakeholders. So that is all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gautam. There was a lot of information about how the river program can get better. Thank you so much for the information. Would like to dive deep into it. Next speaker.
Yeah. Next, I would like to invite Madhuri Singh from JK Cement. Is she here? I think she's not joined. Okay. So, Sarah, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Tirupati, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shall I start?
Yeah, Sarah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah. I'm based out of Mumbai, and I'll just give a brief introduction about myself. So I actually come from films and advertising background. But in 2015, I joined an organization in the CSR, part of it. And then within a year, I co-founded a company which was called Wild West Media Private Limited. So under Wild West Media Private Limited, we started a wing, it was actually a project that we started. So the whole idea was that, we were making our own RVMs, which is a reverse vending machine. And we did a pilot project in 2016 with the Indian Railways. So we started, we had our first machine which was installed at Churchgate Station, which went viral, for a couple of reasons, because at that point the government of India was promoting Swachh Bharat mission. So people thought that it was an initiative by the government. And then from then onwards, we started working with, different kind of, government bodies, right from BMC to Indian Railways to airport authorities to metro authorities. And then, so initially we started, of course, we are a social enterprise, to begin with. But we slowly realized that, maybe we could, work on a model which, probably made it sustainable in the long run, like in terms of revenue through advertising and marketing. But soon, through different experiences, we realized that it's not really a sustainable model. And slowly we moved towards CSR. And around that time, the government was also coming up with a mandate for EPR. There was no clarity on EPR, but we were also part of it in terms of like with the government of Maharashtra at that point. So when the EPR came into picture, then of course a lot more companies started working with us under EPR. So some of the biggest clients that we had were Reliance, we had ONGC, we had a couple of other big names who came on board with us through their EPR policy. And in fact, the the whole marketing which was done by Bisleri also, I think they were also inspired by us, like, bring your own bottle, because we had like round of negotiations with them where they were meant to also, like install our machines, which they backtracked on, and they came up with their own model of picking up the bottles instead. So currently in last September, because past almost 8 years, I've been mostly focused on EPR, CSR, and of course circular economy. I wanted to also broaden my horizon. So now I'm also working in an organization called Fair Climate Fund India, which is basically focused on development of projects. So what we basically do is we work with marginalized communities like farmers and tribal communities, where we do nature-based solutions. And through these nature-based solutions, we also generate carbon credits, which we also sell, in the international market. And then we also do ESG services along with that. So just in the last 7 to 8 months, I'm exploring, carbon credit space uh, uh, more than what I was in the past. So I'll just quickly, so I haven't made a special presentation, but this is the presentation that I had done in the past in terms of what we do. So since I already spoke about it, so I'll just share with you. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah, it's visible.
It's visible, right? So the product that we had was called Rebot. Rebot is for recycling, and bot is your bottle. So our focus was primarily on PET, because PET is one material which is pretty much recyclable, and it has a big market in terms of the circular economy. So sorry, where did it go? So I've shared it on the screen, but like the moment I'm trying to go to the next slide, it's not happening.
You can just
Okay, wait. Yeah, got it. Okay, sorry, yes. Yeah, so this is the company. We started in 2016, 15 almost, but started with our project in 2016. And yeah. So yeah, so when you speak about a pet, so I'm not going to go into detail, but of course all of us are aware in terms of how plastic bottles, especially plastic waste, has been such a challenge for, especially in the cities where like in Mumbai, we also realized that a lot of the gutters were getting blocked because there were either plastic bottles or plastic bags that were getting into the gutters. And that was one of the main reasons that during the flood all the gutters would overflow. And then of course, like on the beaches, we would see everywhere that you have your plastic waste, and it's become so such part of the whole cycle that the birds think, and the birds think that that it's part of the meal, and then they end up eating it. And then you also find a lot of microplastic within their food chain, which eventually comes to us, because if we are non-vegetarians, then you eat the fish that has the microplastic, and automatically it goes into our system. And then and of course, like it's everywhere. Of course, wherever we've realized that in every aspect of life we have plastic waste, which has become a big challenge. So this was our mascot in terms of like the reverse vending machine. It's a very simple machine. You just it looks like almost like an ATM machine. You put an empty plastic bottle in, it crushes the bottle, and then in return the customer gets a coupon, which is like, we had tie-ups with different coffee brands and Reliance retail. So the whole idea was to incentivize and to also change the behavior of people so they understand that, okay, pet has value, but if you give it back in the right way, then there is it's of course better for them in terms of the society. And at the same time, there's an entire chain which is set, so people can use that and make and bring it back into the system instead of using more of virgin plastic. So so yeah, this is what
Sarah,
this
we'll
is
have
how
to
it looks
wrap up
like.
because we are running short on time.
Okay, okay, sure,
Yeah,
sure. So this
yeah.
is what it looks like. And so yeah, in terms of like what the benefit of the rebot was, that of course the bottle was collected at source, it was shredded, it was directly sent for recycling. And then companies like Reliance and few others would turn it into fiber, and then that fiber was turned into t-shirts and other bags and other materials. So this is how the entire system works, like right from your bottle to how the product is made, in the end. So yeah, so these were some of the samples that we had made during that time, and we would also give it in terms of when we would have school activities and beach cleanups. This was given as a incentive to them. So yeah,
So,
like I spoke, yes.
so I think that there's a lot of interesting examples you have given, Sarah. We would like to catch up on a separate call again, and maybe you can
Sure.
share some of your real case studies and some examples, some data that audience can benefit from. And we were particularly interested in the carbon program, so we definitely will catch up and have a separate discussion about the carbon project.
Yeah, sure. We can
Yeah,
definitely do that.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so this is that's about it in terms of like our usage. These are some of the clients that we've worked with so far, and some of the ministers and who have used it and promoted the cause. So this has been a glimpse of that, a bit of that.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Sarah.
so that's about it.
Yeah, Nirati, who's the next speaker?
Dr. S.K. Musraf Hussain, are you there? Yeah, I think he's there.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are
Yeah, you're
audible.
audible. Yeah.
Okay. So I am sharing my screen. Okay, is it visible?
Yeah, it's starting. Yes.
Okay. So hi everyone. Myself, Dr. Sheikh Musharraf Hussain. Currently, I am a Master Trainer of Agriculture Skill Council of India. Today, my discussion will revolve around the Agriculture 4.0, the convergence of artificial intelligence and sustainable agriculture. So first, before going into presentation, we need to have some basic idea of what is the context of current scenario. So our world population will reach a staggering amount of 1,000 crore by 2050. So we need to produce at least 70% more food to feed all the population we are having. But sadly, the natural resources in which we are growing our food that are currently being degraded, already 25% of our cultivable land is highly degraded. And the water, the more important resource, it is India is suffering. India will be suffering a water crisis by 2050. And if we just look into a perspective for producing 1 kilogram of rice, we need to have at least 4,000 to 5,000 liter of water. So the natural resources through which our food system is going on, it is depleting day by day. And more concerning thing is environmental change that is happening day by day. Our world is getting more higher temperature day by day, and the wildfires, the all the droughts, floods like situations are occurring day by day, which is having a very less yield kind of situation for the farmers. It is very tough situations for the farmer in upcoming days. But after all the thing what we have produced after using the natural resources and all the efforts, the globally 33 to 50% of all of our foods are never being eaten, and it requires at least 25% of the fresh water for that particular year for producing the food we ever eat. So we need some solutions, right? So for making the world sustainable, for making the optimized use of or judicious use of our resources for the future generations. So what, in short, our population and food demand is growing, but our extreme climatic events or climate change is also happening rapidly, and the natural resources is depleting. So it can be a major threat to our sustainability. So what is the solutions? Then the solutions lies in the agriculture 4.0, where we put three different perspectives that we need to produce differently using new techniques: hydroponic, that is soilless cultivation, so that we can have some better efficiency in food production system. Next is algae farming. Algae is a superfood, we all know. So we need to produce more algae to feed our cattle, to food our humans. And as our world is covered with two-thirds of water bodies, sea, or so we need to convert them in a seawater farming, and desert farming is also happening in the developed countries, also being experimented in worldwide. So and again, the supply chain inefficiency that lead us to the word food waste, we need to have some more focus on this in the vertical or urban farming or in the peri-urban area. If we can create such ecosystem that where we can produce more food using more efficient manner, so that we can transport the food more easily towards the city center. So that will be a very grateful, that will be a very great idea. And genetic modification, as our Indians are not behind it. Recently, ICR have launched two different rice variety using genetic modifications. And in the other countries, lab-grown meat is replacing meats. So why? Because the cattle are using more greenhouse gases, producing more greenhouse gases. So world is moving towards lab-grown meat or 3D printed food. Next is the incorporating in cross-industry technology. We all know the drones that are not meant to be for agriculture use, but it was for defense industry. But we, as a humans, trying to incorporate these technologies in agriculture, like drone technology, data analytics, nanotechnology. There are several formulations of fertilizer that have came across as nano urea or nano DAP. Artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, precision agriculture, food sharing, crowd farming, and blockchain technology. That all of these are doing simultaneously by side. So we need to understand what is agriculture 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, so that can better understand what we have come for. So before, at the start of human civilizations, we only used to hunt food, we used to eat meats, and then the humanity started cultivating the crops. So there was nothing, from nothing to few. It was a traditional agriculture era that was mainly dominated by human and animal resources. It was very inefficient in operations. Then we came forward for the agriculture 2.0. That is the era of mechanized agriculture. So where we started using the tractors, the combine harvester for harvesting our products, and that is more efficient than the previous generation. But it is having some low utilizations. So it was before that there are from few to many. And here comes agriculture 3.0, that is era of automated agriculture, when we started spraying using drone, when we started irrigating our crops using drip or sprinkler irrigation. So, but the problem with these technologies, these are efficient, but they lack intelligence, because even if there will be a raining or there will be a flood-like situation, if we turn on the sprinkler irrigation, it will automatically irrigate, but it cannot determine whether to irrigate or not. So here comes the picture of agriculture 4.0. This is the era of smart agriculture, unmanned operation through Internet of Things, and it becomes from good to powerful. And it is a more of a system of systems where the whole farm is covered with the sensors, and each part is divided into different management zones. and in different management zones, the requirement are different, and it is fulfilled accordingly. So there is a judicious use of the resources, which can lead us toward the sustainability. So what are the use cases of artificial intelligence and machine learning in the agriculture? The first of all, the disease and pest management. If we can accurately identify what kind of disease and pests are there, we can reduce the pesticide or insecticide use at least 20 to 25%. That will surely help the farmer to optimize their resources. Next is the farmers can predict the crop yield beforehand, before the harvesting. And there are some technologies already evolved where we can differentiate whether that is the crop or weed. Next, livestock is a very important source of human food, and if we can incorporate the livestock by the smart collars, so that we can have some greater insights for the farming. Next is the supply chain management, where all the wastes are being done. So if we can incorporate the blockchains, or if we can incorporate the artificial intelligence machine learning into the supply chain management, it will automatically increase the efficiency. And market demand prediction, we already have been doing it, the market demand prediction by manually, but if we apply the artificial intelligence on machine learning on that particular market demand prediction, so that our food are never being going to waste. And next, soil health management. If we consider in which part there are lack of water, lack of any nutrition, and we can apply the same for that particular plot, then it can be a great for the soil health. Now, farms can be automated through artificial intelligence and machine learning. The next is precision technology, which actually have some 5 pillars of ours, that if we can use the right input at a right amount, at a right place, at the right time, in a right manner. So if we all the 5 are, if we can use, and the agriculture land is so staggering, so huge, that it can surely lead us to the path to the sustainable future. And not only focusing cities, we need to focus at least the agriculture areas, so that we can have a better future for our future generations. That's with some case study. There are some Indian agriculture startups like Fasal and Plantix. They are doing it using artificial intelligence, machine learning, and IoT for providing the farmers to the advisory providers. Advisory Plantix app, by clicking one image, you can assess their damage, what kind of damage is there, and what are the control measures. And it helps us to decision making, informed decision making for the farmer. But there are several challenges. The first challenge is the high cost of implementation of this kind of technology, the less know-how, how to use
Dr.
all the
Musharraf, we'll have
technologies,
to wrap
the
up because
inadequate.
we'll have to wrap up
Yes,
because we
this
have
is the last slide.
yeah.
Yes, though this is the inadequate policy support is there, and but if we go toward the solutions, there is a PPP mode of solutions. Public-private partnership mode can be done. Government can offer subsidies to the farmers so that they can implement these sustainable technologies, and farmers need to be more aware about this kind of technology. Next, with this note, I would like to conclude I have a request to Mr. Saurabh sir, that kindly look into that area of agriculture, how to make it sustainable for our future. And with this, if I ever get a chance to collaborate with you regarding this sustainable agriculture, I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you. That's all. I would like to conclude with a quotation of Rabindranath Tagore, that everything comes to us, that belongs to us, if we create the capacity to receive it. We must create the capacity, must create the ecosystem to make the world more sustainable. Thank you. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Sam.
you.
Just in time, as you rightly said, collaborating on sustainable agriculture. We're currently working on a very large scale organic farming project for southern part of India, and we definitely want to get in touch with you, and we'll talk about it in the next week. So we'll reach out to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, thank you, Dr. Sen. I would like to invite Mr. Rao, if you want to share some insights of yours.
Yeah. Good evening once again. Sorry, I haven't prepared any formal presentation or slides because I've been traveling and just landed about just in time to catch up with this
And everything
program.
was on a very short notice also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, probably next meet I can come out with some
Yeah,
slides and
definitely.
discuss
We look
further.
forward to
But
that.
I'll just share some of my ideas actually, also some past experiences as regards the urban I mean areas actually, which is the focus of this particular forum. And one of the I think programs we can have particularly for smart cities or urban cities, is about having study on the carrying capacity of the cities actually. As all of you know, each city actually is unique, and then it has limited resources, and maybe the geographical features of that city. So therefore, and then what are the various challenges the city is facing, from the traffic, from the nearby industries, from the population growth, unplanned growth again actually, because all of us know that they are growth and planning really don't match. We outgrow the planning. All Indian cities do that, and that's why we have been, encountering various problems in the cities, especially as far as traffic, as far as the sewage treatment, or as far as the flooding, which happens when there is a sudden outburst, actually, of the clouds. So all this probably can be done. See, I mean, speaking from a personal experience, actually, when I was at Tata Steel, we had done a carrying capacity study for the city of Jamshedpur. Actually, that's probably first of its kind in the country. We invited Niri to really get it done, and we were immensely benefited out of that. The future planning of the city, actually, how what kind of industrial clusters can come, and where the city can grow, what kind of green spaces we can develop, what kind of water bodies we can really have. All that, it gave us a future planning, and to a large extent, actually, I was told, although I had moved out of that city, but then the city planners had that document in their hand, and they were focusing in those areas. So now, much later, we have come out with this kind of a smart city, and then later Amrit cities concept, where where I think that this kind of studies will probably benefit. Although our city planners must be doing some kind of a study and planning, but a regional kind of understanding the impact. What kind of impacts presently they have, and then going forward 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what kind of impact that can be. So there can be some kind of a predictive modeling, and and because see, the cities or the areas have some assimilative capacities, actually we need to understand that. And so whatever planning we do, it has to align with the assimilative capacity of the region. So therefore it's very important to have, probably in the present context, when the government is planning these kind of cities, I mean, we can have this kind of studies, and certainly, at least as some kind of a pilot studies, maybe, your organization, at 5R can probably initiate this kind of things. Of course, they may require some kind of a funding, but I think still would be possible, actually. Okay,
Definitely, it's
that's
a
one
very good
area.
idea, Dr. Rao, because
Yeah.
carrying capacity is a very great concept, and it is one of the fundamental concepts in ecology. But what do you think that aren't the cities 10x or maybe 100x probably beyond their carrying capacity? Isn't it true in the urban areas?
No, it would be possible, sir. It would be possible. It's not that, yeah. Only thing is, yes, because say it will. it will be a holistic study actually. We study the if we start with the natural resources that the city and the surrounding environment is endowed with, and then keeping that, and then also we will see what kind of degradation has happened around actually in the last 20-25 years. We can start with the satellite imagery starting from say 2000 or 2010, and now so we can have some kind of what kind of change has happened, and how the population has grown actually, because in the last 15 years the natural resources have come down while the population has grown.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so we can have some kind of a trend analysis, and keeping that in mind for the next 15, 20, 30 years, we actually using some predictive modeling, because these days models are available actually, and we can do that, and that can be recommended and can be part of the smart city program or the Amrit city program. Otherwise, I know different kinds of things happen, but it's not looked at a holistic manner. Please understand that, because forest department will be considering the kind of having some lung spaces. The water works department works differently, and all of us know that these government departments don't really align to each other, unfortunately, isn't it? So
Yeah.
therefore, this kind of a study and
Story
the
of the story
recommendations.
of Indian cities. When you see that there is always a road in Mumbai, roads are always dug up.
Yep, that's what actually. So you want
Yeah,
to lay underground cables? Yes, you dig up the city, isn't it?
yeah.
And then there is a sudden outburst, and then there is a hell lot of flooding, and then there's a traffic jam. So we all know about these stories. So that's why probably we'll have to start with this kind of a. If we are thinking of some kind of a model city, probably this is the first step to understand where we are and how do we want to grow. So therefore, I think let's anyway. I mean, it's easier said than done, but let's work towards this. Actually, that's
Thank you so
my
much.
idea.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Rao. Thanks everyone for today's discussion. We had some very interesting lineup and a lot of interesting things we coming to know, right from academia to civil organization and some of the private organizations also. So we would like to continue this conversation, and there are some of the speakers who would like to speak more and share more details. We are also interested in knowing more, because the audience, the citizens, they would like to know. There are a lot of students and a lot of young people who would like to know about these technologies and these sustainable development methods and those case studies. So we'll have a separate conversation on that. Those who couldn't present today or had to present in short will have opportunity in the next session. We'll have these sessions every week. So let's consider doing these meetups, and please invite your other friends and colleagues in these meetups. And thank you so much. You have any suggestions or any queries right now in next couple of minutes before we wrap up? Any suggestions, any ideas how we can make this entire initiative more better or more effective?
Just wanted to know that whether the meeting time will be same.
Yeah, we try to keep it Friday evening, for the reason is that people wrap up their week and 9 p.m. because by that time they would have done with their office or studies or whatever they're doing. And also it soon will have people coming, experts coming from other countries also, US and Europe. So the time will match. So that is why we kept that time.
That's okay. That's okay. But whether that will be more or less same,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. That is
Any
my.
other questions or suggestions from other people on the team? All right, then. Thank you so much. It was great talking to all of you. And this entire discussion will be posted on YouTube and in form of article. So please share your pictures with Nirati, and so we can post your pictures as well, individual pictures in the story. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you all.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Saurabh ji.
Thank you, everyone. Good
Okay. Good
night.
night.
Thank you.
Good night to all of you.
Good night.
Thank you.